guys, stop.
We do story ideas on the fly, where we take a random idea out of a hat and develop it into a story.
Oh my gosh, like I'm gonna stop laughing. Joseph, hold this up to the camera. It says, "This is Tim," and it's a stick figure. Does it show?
Okay.
I mean, it is Tim.
Okay.
Alright.
A name for a main character.
This is Tim. Tim is our main character. He is a stick figure.
Okay, question. Are we going with fantasy, sci-fi, or heroes? Since we're going with heroes, then obviously he's a superhero whose power made it so that he is incredibly emaciated for some reason. If it's sci-fi, he is either a robot or some kind of alien species.
Or
No.
maybe it's a stylistic thing.
Or it's a video game world.
Oh, good point. That's another option.
Perhaps it is something where you've got some magical easel or something in this, I don't know what kind of, place, but as people draw on it,
Yeah, that's what I was
it
going to go
becomes a
for.
reality.
Okay.
Because clearly, no, this Tim is not a representation of the main character of the story. No, this is Tim. He is a stick figure who was drawn on this piece of paper.
So he's a living. He lives on a piece of paper.
Well, no, he lives.
He once lived on a piece of paper. He was drawn on a piece of paper.
Now he's come
But
to
now
life.
he comes to life into this realm where things that are drawn, kind of like the rejected ideas go to the land of rejected. If you haven't read those books, man, they're fun.
Mhm.
But they, where do these things that are drawn and erased, where do they go? To this land of, and you could have it just be, doesn't have to be everything
Use
that
a
they have
sketch.
Be
drawn.
drawn by
But
a
it-
special magical,
It could be something that is
a
drawn
magical
on
pin or a
yes,
magical.
a
Anything drawn in Kentucky.
Kentucky?
Specifically Kentucky.
I think
for no good
I don't
reason.
think a magical
No.
pin
I like
or a
to do
this
magical
pen.
pencil or
or
I don't know if it was this pin that drew Tim, but
or something like that.
okay.
this pen drew Tim. Let's say that.
It looks like he was drawn with a pencil, actually.
Hold on, sorry, didn't mean to have my cell phone here.
No, that's
go
fine.
go take care of that. Okay.
That was actually mine.
Okay, well, it called me and then called you, and Joseph will
All right.
take care of that. All right,
So-
sorry for the interruption. We don't generally
But
bring the
we
cell
have
phone.
so a specific pencil drew Tim, and we'll say that though the pencil that drew Tim also has magic properties.
I wouldn't just make it a pencil. I would make it a
Or maybe it's the paper or the canvas.
or a particular art studio or
Mhm.
something. Like I said, anything stuck on
Yeah.
the easel, stuck on that, whiteboard,
Well, if
stuck
you
on
had
that.
a magical
But I like
canvas that artists paint things on and have them come to life, you could have a lot of things created that were actually,
But
works of art, and then have some, little kid come in and, write
you
a
could,
All right.
or you
strong
could,
magical canvas and create Tim.
or you could have it be, some whiteboard that used to be in some magical place, magical castle or something, and now it's at this college, and so they're or this little art studio someplace, and so
Nice.
okay, let's storyboard this instead of we're getting a concept, so there would be some.
This has some
place that's really
serious
well-
meta potential.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. What is
All
the
right.
story
so
now?
Something's being created on this board or canvas or whatever.
whatever, and it's going into
Our world?
Is it coming in our world? I
It
think it's
could.
coming into
Is it
its
coming
own
to our world or
Okay.
separate? If
I
it's
think
a
it's coming
separate
to its own
world,
world.
then in order to have it so that we have anything interesting going on, we basically need to rip off Rejected and have it so that this
No,
is
not
probably had multiple
necessarily.
things be drawn on it.
Honestly, if we have it go into its own separate world, what you'd want to do is draw some kind of parallelism and have it be so that the things that go on in that world parallel another story that goes on in the real world that you tell
Right.
through subtext.
I figured it would come into the real world. Whatever you create.
Yeah, you could
just
come into the
somehow
real world. I
it
like the
steps
idea.
out of the canvas or the whiteboard and joins the real world, and
I like the idea of this was an art studio, and everything they would sketch would just walk off of the canvas, walk into this one area, and they don't really leave the art studio because they're magical art creatures, and so they don't really interact
Yeah.
well with the world.
So they stay in the
Wait,
art gallery.
At
wait.
least for now.
Listen.
Tim could be the one that pretty much, like, leaves the art studio, and then after realizing, like, throughout the story maybe, that, like, these crazy art things, not all of them, should be out in the real world, so he pretty much tries to combine them back into the second dimension.
Oh, this is interesting. Now, one interesting thing,
Mhm.
everything drawn on this canvas that is getting off or erased from the, the whiteboard canvases you don't generally erase, but erased from
No,
the,
I like you draw it
whatever.
on the canvas and then it steps
It's
up, and
out.
that's how you erase.
Okay, and so
Mhm.
it gets off. These things are two-dimensional. So all they do is turn sideways. They're entirely invisible to us.
Mhm.
So they are going on in our world, and we don't know it. So now Tim is our hero. What else has been drawn on this board?
A dragon.
Okay, lots of things. And I like the idea of having this board be something where it's an ideas board where they're coming up with, ideas for
I want a huge variety of things drawn on
like
this.
I said,
Yeah.
TV
And also,
movies.
like, variety of quality. Everything from
Right.
super in-depth paintings to...
Well, you wouldn't really have
Mm,
in-depth.
To this is Tim.
No, and that's what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm saying this board is not just used for one thing. So there are out, like, whole scenes on it going, okay,
Right,
and
Mhm.
or it was just quick sketches of
But then we
storyboarding.
accidentally brought a villain into the world.
right.
Or created a villain.
Right, because their
Here's the interesting
their
thing.
job at this place is to storyboard things, to come up with ideas. And so
Mhm.
they're on this, going all these ideas, and no, let's sketch this one out. Really, I'll do a good job drawing
Do
this
the
one.
people who run this studio know about this magic?
I don't think when the book starts, no.
Okay,
But I think they may figure it out during the
Pretty
book.
quickly.
so here's what I think happens.
They're
Tim,
introduced to it by Tim.
Tim and
Tim.
all the others are two-dimensional, and so because of that, they can actually like hide go just flat out on a wall, and they look like graffiti type thing.
Or they can just, you're there, I
Are
turn
they-
sideways, you can't see me.
Are they
That's
threatening
really
though
hard.
if they're actually
Yeah, but if
two-dimensional?
you're off by 0.1 degrees, I can still see you.
Yeah, but you're only going to look like a line anyway.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna go, oh, there's a weird line
Now,
there.
yeah.
Which,
There's a problem with that.
Uh-huh.
We have two eyes.
Well, my biggest issue is that a dragon that's two-dimensional doesn't seem overly scary.
No, here's the thing. I don't think this is.
No, that could actually be terrifying.
I guess
Infinitely
if it can slice
sharp.
people in
Well,
half.
actually, I'm going to say this. I don't think we actually say like the world's threatened by this. This does not need to be
No.
this. What I think happens is I think they could cause some problems though, especially if you have like a dragon that can light things on fire.
Mhm.
He may be two-dimensional, but he walks over to that piece of wood over there, breathes fire, and it can still catch fire and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And so they might be able to cause some problems. Also, the reactions between us from the three-dimensional world and these 2D drawings would be, we would not just instantly go, they would not be able to integrate into society. And so I think a lot of the story could be Tim going, how do we deal with this? We have a situational villain of, we have these two-dimensional beings in a three-dimensional world they can't really exist here properly.
Well, I
Even
think,
if they want to be peaceful,
I
they
think
can't.
you also have the problem that you could have some of these characters that are drawn be a threat to the to the drawing. I don't know what we're calling these. Are we calling two-dimensional people?
Let's call them the drawings.
I don't know.
Become the
I
drawings.
mostly
Let's just
picture
draw-
them
yeah,
coming out in
drawings.
3
Just-
dimensions.
Okay, to draw. And if we want, we could have them pop out and be 3 dimensions.
I just like
I
having a
like
stick
the
figure.
I think it depends
Okay,
on
just-
how well it was drawn. If you do a highly detailed, realistic image, it's 3-dimensional.
But
If you do a
But Tim
stick
is a stick
figure,
figure.
it's
This
two-dimensional.
it's Tim.
He's
If
a stick
Tim-
figure.
If Tim is 3-dimensional, he doesn't look like this. So I'm saying this is Tim. So let's go with the drawn, and he's 2-dimensional. Well, these 2-dimensional, they're down. Now, what could be really interesting is now you've got these 2-dimensional beings. They would be good at sneaking in places.
Mhm.
Heck,
They can fit
through the
right
behind
under-
the door, right?
Yeah.
They can. So
And some of them are
let's
probably pretty small.
let's have
Actually,
them
most of them are probably pretty small.
uncover some plot, not some save the world thing, but just something that maybe it is a competitor movie studio or something that's going to try, that is trying
To steal
let's make
ideas.
let's
or-
make the business, the animation studio with this canvas be going under. Like they're losing business.
And it's because of a rival place. And so they're going to actually have
3D
to.
animation studio.
There we go. And they're going to have to, they're going to uncover this plot and have to find a way to communicate and say, hey, we're here, and let the people know and help.
Sounds interesting.
And then using them would be very good in exposing the other people.
Mhm.
So here you don't have a big battle at the end. You have, we expose them, the cops come in and arrest them, all these different
Yeah,
things.
which is still fun.
But yeah, which can still be fun. But it could be a very interesting play, dynamics on the two different
It could be lots of
worlds.
fun.
and the
Yeah.
worlds interacting.
Sounds cool.
I kind of have a vision of this. What else do we need to figure out?
Okay, hold on.
Tim may need to find a love story.
Yeah.
interest.
Hey, Joseph.
So does someone draw his love interest after they
Draw
discover
the love
him?
interest, please.
All right,
girl.
all right.
The
Or
girl-
should
So-
we have it so that he finds a love interest, which would mean she has
Go
a
ahead.
completely different
Actually-
art style?
You
Or
can
he
get
draws
hey,
a love it, or he
get-
draws his own love interest.
No, don't write it on there.
Yeah, no, that'd be
Grab a
better.
3x5 card from right
Okay.
over there. Grab a 3x5.
Because I don't want to disgrace
Bottom one.
Tim's paper. Like,
Right, grab a 3x5 card. Here, draw on the back of that. Okay, then he's going to draw a girl for Tim and he'll see what she looks like, and she'll probably be a stick figure, although he's actually a very good artist.
Yeah, but Tim's a stick figure.
Right,
Anyway,
Be more
Yeah.
detailed than him. That's okay.
we'll see.
okay, here's what I have of Timette.
Timette, doesn't she get a body?
I'm working on
that's the
it.
start of the sketch. He's still working on it.
Right. Well, you can tell these things are done live,
All right.
Anyway,
Take
There,
got love
Timette is
interest.
done.
We've got some.
Okay, go hold it up to the viewers. Make
Timette?
sure it can be seen in the camera.
Done.
Can it be seen? Upside down.
All right,
that's
we got,
good.
Timette.
we got love story interest. We've got
We have
plenty of
Tim
opportunity
and
for
Timette.
conflict. What are we missing? Who would write this, or who could write this?
I think I could,
I,
but I'm still drawing my interpretation of Tim's
I was
girlfriend.
gonna see. I actually think Joseph would be the fun one to have write this
Oh yeah,
because
because
you've
he's
got
into
kind of
art.
an artistic
That would
board
be
that he
fun.
could have fun with, and it would be really good story for him to write.
this is one of those few things that I could see being a novel with illustrations.
Yes, and I couldn't do that. Well, unless they all look like Tim, because I
There
could
you
do the
go.
straight. It's the stick figures.
Yep.
But
But maybe one of you would like this idea.
okay,
Let us know
we're
in the
about to
comments
end
how
this
you
up,
would do
so
it.
maybe you'll have to put that in the comments.
Okay, what do you think?
She's lovely.
Okay.
I have not
So
finished
how would you
drawing
write
clothes,
the,
but this is my interpretation of Tim's
Oh,
girlfriend.
if she doesn't have clothes, no, don't show it.
I haven't finished her.
Yeah, we don't
All
want to
right.
get demonetized or something.
She's
Not that
she's a drawing. I didn't do it accurately.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
On
Joseph.
that note,
Yeah.
let us know how you would write this.
If we get too weird,
And
we'll
give us
see
more
you-
ideas.
We'll see you next time.